Hey guys, welcome to Star Wars Timeline. My name is Ben. On occasion, I love to browse through YouTube and check out what are the latest Star Wars fan films that are out there. Today, we're taking a look at Star Wars Premonition. As always, guys, thank you so much for checking out my content. If you enjoy Star Wars fan films as much as I do, please let me know in the comment section below what are the ravest, coolest short films that I haven't seen, and I would love to review them on the channel. Star Wars Premonition was released on December 1st of 2022. It's directed and created by Max Jordan with story by Lizzy. We have one more child star starring in this film besides these two names that I already mentioned, Emily Jordan. I'm going to assume it's the little girl who portrays the child. She is the director's daughter. The music is created by Rylan Botera. So I would love to separate this video into three sections. First, I'll talk about the visuals and sound. Then I'll talk about the story overall, and at the end, I'll give it my final score and tell you guys what I thought about this movie. First, I gotta say, this film has beautiful, immaculate visuals. And I love the presentation that there is no over-reliance on CGI and digital effects. And I have nothing against it. It really works in other short films where they really want to set up a setting and show us that it's a different part of the galaxy, and it's beautifully done. But in the case of this film, it seems like obviously every short film is working with a limited budget, and it looks like it was very smartly used. You know where every single dollar went here. The moment that the movie opens up, right, and we have this wide shot, and we have two TIE fighters just zooming through the background, I thought there was enough CGI, just enough detail to tell us what this location is. And speaking of location itself, it really lends itself well into the story, right? Because we are dealing with a plot line here, which is obviously the Jedi Purge, right? This Sith Lord is after a Jedi person, and it's sort of showing you the shambles that the Republic has become. These on the ruins of the Republic, this new evil empire arises where the Sith Lords are hunting the Jedi. And just this abandoned factory-like location with a lot of metallic skeleton-like things protruding from the ground and debris everywhere. It really, really lends itself well into the story and just tells us what's going on in this world. And one thing I really have to appreciate is that the visual quality of the film here is so well done, and the camera work is that there's not a single line of dialogue in the entire film. It's very short, but still, it's very impressive that you're still able to deduce what's going on, what's the general idea. My film school teachers always taught us that if you want to see whether a movie is well done or not, completely mute it and just go to any movie and start watching from the middle of somewhere. If you can easily pick up on what's going on and get the gist of the idea, you know you have a very good storyteller in your hand, because this is how you lead the audience visually. You direct their eye to see what's in the foreground, what's in the background, what's the interaction between the characters to understand what's going on. And I particularly enjoy the camera work during the lightsaber duel, which is obviously the biggest feature of the short film. It's centered around a lightsaber duel. And what I love as a huge martial art fan, right, from Jackie Chan to later 2000s films, I've grew up my entire life watching different martial art films from Asia, from China, and all over the world. And we always make an argument that a good martial arts scene is where the action is clear to read. And I'm happy to say, guys, that in this particular short, not only the duel itself is excellently choreographed. I mean, I have a minor short gripes here and there, but I don't think it's even worth mentioning, because overall, the overall package is very well delivered. But not only the actors move well and are very convincing, but also it's filmed really well. You understand what's going on throughout the entire scene. When they have these complicated grab moves and they're wrestling with one another, and then you're trying to figure out what's happening, and it's always clear. And we have a lot of wider shots, which tells you that these actors were preparing. They did their choreography moves, because when we zoom out a little bit and we see two full bodies moving in front of the screen, it's quite impressive. It's very well done. Another thing that I loved about the visuals in Premonition is that the minimal costume design. Both of the actors, they never look like they're cosplaying the Jedi and they're just popping in front of the screen. It's something that plagues a lot of Star Wars short films. But in this one, they really feel grounded. They really feel like they belong in that environment, in the Star Wars universe. The woman, the female, looks just dark and gritty. She's not trying to telegraph, hey, by the way, I'm a Jedi. Maybe she's in hiding, right? She's running. She's trying to protect this child. And she's basically running away with any robes, anything available to her. But she doesn't scream, I'm a Jedi, look at me. With the Sith Lord, he's obviously channeling Kylo Ren vibes out there, right? With his like long hair and stuff like that. But once again, I really enjoy it. It's a simple outfit. He's completely clad in black, but yet he's very convincing. He doesn't look like a cosplayer. When I look at him, he felt so ferocious and so intimidating. And the sonic quality of the film, the sound effects and the musical score and the actors, facial expressions help build that character, that person, that he's intimidating in every shot. So I really enjoyed the costumes on the actors. And of course, the lightsabers themselves. At one point, you see that they use real props, and other points where the saber blade is extending and extinguished. It's obviously a CGI effect. And when they're trying to hit each other's blades, you see sparks flying in front of the screen. Very, very convincing. And once again, I think it works because it's kept to bare minimum. It works so well. The lightsabers are really dope. And I really enjoyed how in the woman's vision, she's fighting a guy with a traditional lightsaber, but when he actually comes into the shot, there's beautiful, beautiful white shot. And we see the back behind the female Jedi, and the Sith Lord is walking from the background. It is so intimidating, so interesting. And then when he pops it open, it's basically like a Jedi blade, a Jedi pole or something. It's something that I really wanted to see Rey use in Star Wars sequels. Unfortunately, we didn't get that. She ended up with a traditional, single blade lightsaber. But I really loved how cool it was here. He was so different. I haven't quite seen a short film with that weapon being used in such a way. It was very interesting to see these lightsabers at play here. And as I mentioned earlier, all the sound effects really play into the film as well. All the sparks, all the characteristics of a lightsaber duel are present here, and they really sell the experience. Since we're on the sound, I gotta say, guys, the music by Rylan Botera is absolutely stunning. There are moments of complete and utter terror and tension there, but then there are sweeter, lighter melodies there, which show the kind of like this, the only unconditional love. Because in my mind, I'm going to assume that's the Jedi woman's child. That's her son or her daughter. Because when you're not revealed all the details in the story, I think the creator leaves it to your imagination to interpret it however you want. And I personally enjoy the Jedi the way they're portrayed in Star Wars Legends. When Star Wars prequels were coming out, I never was sold into the idea of a celibate Jedi and this like a warrior monk clan. They're not supposed to have attachments. It was just a silly idea to me. So what I saw here spoke a lot of Star Wars Legends to me, where it's a force-sensitive, obviously a Jedi woman, and she had a family at one point, she had a child, and she's running away with this kid. She's trying to protect her daughter from this evil Sith Lord. So that really also was connected with my personal sensibilities, what I particularly enjoy about Star Wars Expanded Universe. Now the story here. I mentioned that I really enjoyed how everything was told visually, and you understood what was going on. The performances are very, very emotional. Lizzy Pauling, fantastic job. I completely believed her struggle. I completely understood how she's torn in between, like, should we just run? Should I pick up this baby and run? But at the same time, you understand that where I'm gonna go, the Sith Lord on my back, he can sense me through the Force. He potentially senses the child too. We don't know that at that point if the child is Force sensitive or not. That is only revealed at the end of the picture. But up until this point, I'm like, she says, no, I'm gonna stand here and stand my ground. But what did I do? I already saw the vision of my death. Am I going to sacrifice myself? And me, as experienced Star Wars fan, I was sold into the idea that she literally saw the future, which is sort of half truth as far as this story is concerned. And it's basically a very interesting play on Yoda's words that hard to see the future is. So what we see is half the truth, half the actual future, because yes, indeed, she's getting heavily wounded by the Sith Lord, but at the end, an unexpected moment comes out, and I was genuinely pleasantly surprised. The child comes out, and the child, of course, is Force sensitive, and he prevents his mother from getting into complete harm's way and completely getting murdered by the Sith Lord. And then, of course, she counterattacks and they destroy the vanquished the foe. Beautifully done. Once again, it is so simple, but it is not an instance of other Star Wars short films where they're basically just an expositional lightsaber duel, which once again, it's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to bring down any other short films, but what I really enjoyed is the added bonus of the narrative quality by the Star Wars Premonition. All in all, I think it was an excellently done film. If I were to nitpick anything at all, it's just that one moment where both duelists are losing their weapons and the guy basically just like sticks the girl to a wall. He's, choke holding her. And I felt it was just interrupted the pacing of the overall amazing fight just a tiny bit because they dispose of the lightsabers and they're back. Both of them are back with the lightsabers. By the way, I really enjoyed the demonstration of the Force when they pull their weapons to them. It's basically somebody's throwing the prop off screen to the actor, but it looks so convincing. And there's no CGI there. There's nothing crazy going on. It's just like, boop, I got my weapon back. That was a cool little detail. So besides just minor things there, I don't think they're even worth mentioning. So at the end of it, what was my overall score of the story? Guys, straight 4 out of 4. Max Jordan, sir, you have done an amazing job of entertaining an old school Star Wars fan like me. I'm completely mind blown what fans are going out there. And I don't know this gentleman's full filming experience there. I'm going to assume that he's an aspiring filmmaker. But just to see Star Wars fans coming together and create a beautiful, emotional story like this, it never ceases to amaze me. It's just so beautifully done. Anyway, guys, please let me know in the comment section below, what did you personally think of this film? Or if you haven't seen it yet, please follow the link below. Give all the credit and due respect that this film deserves. At the point of the filming this review, I saw 760,000 views on this film in 1 month. I honestly think it deserves a lot more. So go support the crew, go support all the guys who made this film, and I'll check you guys next time. Take care, everyone.